Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your post-game show. For how long, we don't know. If my voice lasts, we'll do a while. If it doesn't, we won't. If the phone lasts, we'll do a while. If it doesn't, we won't. But one thing that won't obviously be lasting is Town's Premier League stay. We know that, already relegated. And this afternoon, it's a 1-0 home defeat to Brentford. What are your thoughts on it, Frank?
Well, I think, to be absolutely honest, Town went at the races. The last 5 minutes, we looked more threatening than the other 85. I think Enciso, the referee, had already clocked him for falling down too freely, although he played well. I think he got the man of the match. But for me, Cam Burgess was my standout player because he just looked so solid at the back. And bear in mind that he was bought under Paul Cook. He came through on to the Championship in the Premier League, and he doesn't look out of place. So all things considered, a very disappointing evening or afternoon for Ipswich, but it's par for the course. That is now, sadly, just one win, 4 draws and 13 defeats. Ooh, gosh, unlucky 13.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it really was a close game. You know, it's a 1-0 home defeat to Brentford. We haven't really been outclassed. In fact, you know, I thought both teams cancelled each out fairly well, in the sense of Brentford didn't really have much going forward. We didn't. They had their chances. We had one at the end, obviously. We had the lap-free header in the first half. But the big talking point, being a 1-0 defeat, obviously, and we'll cover it a lot tomorrow on the Talking Town show, live from 1, is going to be that corner where it's VAR checked for a penalty, then given back to a corner, and then, of course, as I've been banging the drum for several months now, Town can't defend a set piece, and we concede. Where were you on this whole? Because I always thought, and I might be wrong, and the chat will tell me, or you'll tell me, well, if he goes out of play for a corner, the ball's dead. So if an incident happens in the box, it's an off-ball incident, you deal with it, but it can't be a penalty. Once the ball's taken from a corner, ball's live again, then of course you can give a penalty. So to check a penalty, you're indicating the ball is live, of which if it isn't a penalty, it should be a drop ball. That's how I thought it was. I don't know if I'm wrong. Chat will tell me, you'll tell me. But how did you see it? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I can vouch for what you're suggesting, because a lot of the supporters behind me in the West Stand were all saying you can't do that. That is against the rules. Now, normally I don't remember referees' names unless they're bad ones like Clive Thomas. But I do remember Sam Barrett for good reasons. But he got it wrong. He got it totally wrong, in my opinion. It will be checked later, I'm sure, by people, connoisseurs in the field. But I think you're right. I don't think that should have been another corner, and it led to the goal. And then the guy in front of me said, "It's your fault. You said it shouldn't be another corner," and it was, and they scored.
But of course, having been given another corner, Town have got to be alive again. And we keep saying every week, the Premier League's a learning curve, and we're learning from these experiences. Well, I ain't seeing much learning going on from our set-piece defending, Frank, to be quite honest with you. Every time we concede from a set-piece, we look shaky from them when we do concede them. And frankly, I don't know how there's not been a change being made earlier in the management of those set-pieces. Because once again, today, it's the difference. Now, obviously, we're relegated. It doesn't matter. But Old Trafford, it did matter. Had things gone the right side of the margin, this game may well have mattered. So every situation does still matter, whether you're up or down, already confirmed. And we just doesn't seem to be learning from these mistakes.
Well, that is disappointing. But what we have to bear in mind, Martin, is that Kieran McKenna is learning on the job as well. You know, he has gone from League One, when he's never managed, to the Championship, promotion again. Nobody's calling for his head, which is good.
No.
And also,
but
I
he's
think
not the set piece coach.
No.
People know who I'm calling for.
Yeah. And I would look scrutinisingly at the goalkeeping coaches as well. Whoever suggested that Muric would be a good fit for Ipswich needs their head examining. No, he didn't. But the point is, the damage.
At times it may have looked like he was.
The damage was done a long time ago, Martin. Long time ago.
Talking of which, Palmer obviously a little bit suspect today with his feet.
A little bit.
Classic air kick. I've only seen Town goalies do that most this year. Is an air kick. It goes out for a corner. Never a great. But away from that, Palmer has been fantastic for us. And again, he's made some big saves this afternoon. One particularly in the second half. It's really reassuring having that presence in the sticks, isn't it?
It is, and what you have to bear in mind with the argument I make, Muric was not communicating with his back line. A goalkeeper is the back line of defence. He's your vice captain. He's got to do the shouting.
We're getting that now.
We're getting it now under Alex Palmer, less so under Christian Walton, but definitely not under Muric Helas.
There you go. Frank, it's a pleasure talking football with you. Welcome. And hopefully we won't leave it as long. Colin's not well today. Best of wishes, Colin. I know what that feels like. Here goes my voice. It's going. Josh, very quickly, I'll get you in before my voice goes that way and I have to run after it. What are your thoughts following the 1-0 home defeat to Brentford?
I actually thought it was the best home performance I've seen in a while, especially last 15. I don't think last 5 we were bad. I think last 15 we were actually the best side.
I agree, actually. Yeah.
But I don't think we deserve to lose.
I thought both sides, like I said to Frank, cancel each other out. There was no real dominant side in there today for me.
No, you could argue that, and barring the terrible defender from the set piece, which we've already spoken about, probably shouldn't have been.
Since October, I've spoken about set pieces.
Shouldn't have been taken the second time anyway.
Well, there we go. But I'm sure someone will tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah, they might.
And that's fine. Once you know it, you're fine. But obviously, the whole stadium are of our sort of thinking at that moment. But it's just poor defending, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was bad defending. But
that concentration again.
It was bad defending again, but should it have been taken? Who knows?
Yeah, this is it. This is the question.
But then again, it was taken, and you've got to do it better. So,
who stood out for you today then for Tam?
it's got to be Enciso. The way today,
do you think?
Yeah, he was up for it today. I think he drove us forward. He's greedy at times, though. It does really piss me off.
Yeah, but all the best players are greedy at times.
It's true. I'd give it Enciso if I'm going to give him man of the match, but I'd give Burgess a massive shout out because he's been good again.
I thought Greaves was really good today, and I thought for a player who's not a left back, he was getting up and down that flank really well.
I think he's actually played better at left back.
He really has
when he's been playing at left back.
Yeah, and I think I was saying midweek to Ben on the match preview show, if you can re-sign Burgess, that back four actually of Axel or O'Shea, then O'Shea or Wolfie, then Burgess and Greaves. If you do lose Davis, actually is a fairly solid centre half. Back four, it's good at defending, but equally we saw Jacob Greaves score this afternoon. Like, who had that on there?
It was
their coupon this afternoon. Jacob Greaves at a back post. Burgess volley. I mean, I thought Greaves, for a centre half playing left back, did fairly well.
Yeah, he was good today. I thought, yeah.
But you're all very much in the camp of we've got to re-sign Cam Burgess.
I think you should do. I mean, it's good. It's if you do, then you've got him and Greaves. If you don't lose Davis, you've got Davis and Townsend. It's good cover anyway. I'd personally keep Burgess, but it's up to the player at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought Morsey grew into the game. The longer it went on, still got a big problem next to him. In that we don't really have anybody. Jack Taylor's getting the minutes. I think at championship level he may well be a good player, but this is obviously just maybe a little bit above him at this stage, and it may always. Not every player is a Premier League player. I thought Connor tried hard this afternoon, had a few good things. Where were we on Georgehurst? When he came on, a few people around me were asking me, "Has he touched the ball yet?" I like Georgehurst. How did you see his performance in that last? And also Jack Clark, who I actually thought looked pretty good.
Jack Clark's improved a lot since the start of the season when a lot of people didn't rate him, but he's actually...
He picked out Morsey on the edge 18 really well, with that great ball into him. Then Morsey obviously blasted it over. But I thought Jack Clark did well.
Clark's improved a lot. Hurst today, I don't know. It wasn't his best game. Oh, I didn't see if he was fouled or not for a shot.
Well, he thinks he was by the reaction.
I also feel like he should have taken it a bit further because, he took it first time and I don't think that was the right decision in my opinion.
Well, I think he was caught, not necessarily by the player. From my angle, I couldn't see. He'll tell you he was. Certainly at that moment, he thought he was. But I think he'd been caught for pace. It was that moment or you're going to lose your opportunity. But yeah, some great thoughts. All right, don't forget we're part of the Stowmarket Osteopaths. Don't live life in pain. Give Freddie a call. He's the governor there. 01449 613 633. That's Stowmarket Osteopaths. 01449 613 633. This has been a very hastily put together match reaction show. My voice is actually held out quite well. I'm quite impressed. Josh, thank you ever so much for appearing. Stu, thank you so much for holding the tripod with the win. Frank, thank you for coming all this way just for a match reaction show. We all know it was to this show you came, not for that. We love you too. Matt is back with me tomorrow. 1 p.m. to give it the full. I think it's 1 p.m. isn't it? Yeah, we'll let you know when we know. As you can tell, professional towers as always. But we're back tomorrow regardless. Fully dissecting today. We might know about corner rules and penalty rules and dead ball rules. We might, but that does involve research, which we don't do. Laws, by the way, not rules. Laws, yeah. Cheers, Matt. Anyway, helpful as ever. Right, we're back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best. God bless. Enjoy my close-up.